Well, if you guys saw the short, you know I have some big news. If you haven't, the news, got a new truck. So today I wanted to kind of go into a little bit why I chose what I chose. This is a 2024 Toyota Tacoma, and of course I got the TRD off-road model for various reasons. This is a pretty high-end trim. I also got the upgrade to this, so it was an extra like $4,000. But replacing the Jeep's got a lot of miles on it. Needed something fresh, needed something that wasn't taking all my money in repairs and wasn't going to pay me back. So got a new truck, and it's about time I guess I get a truck instead of an SUV, I guess. But there's pros and cons to both, of course. In my case, I just needed something that can haul a lot of stuff around the ranch. I have a lot of property here. I live on a lot of property, and we constantly have to move a bunch of wood, rocks, building supplies, goats, you name it, mineral, hay. So just for that aspect, needed a truck. But then for all the outdoor hunting, hiking stuff I do, really needed something to throw really needed something where I could throw like a bear in there, an elk, a deer, whatever, you name it, and be able to just pressure wash all that blood out and not have to try to clean the inside of my SUV. I've shoved like, I don't even know how many bears. One bear in my first Jeep, one whole bear in my second Jeep, and bear quarters and hide in my second Jeep. So 3 bears in the SUVs. A lot of blood, gets all over everything. I mean, throwing a tarp in there in the back is nice, but man, having a bed just to put all that in there and just be able to pressure wash everything out and keep everything clean inside your cab is just, it's hard to beat. Obviously, I liked having all my stuff inside secure and locked up and protected from the weather and the cold and the ice and people stealing it and all that. But you know, I decided maybe a truck is a little bit better suited for me now. I'll try it out, see how I like it. And I got the TRD off-road model, so it's got a bunch of bells and whistles, and I even added the upgrade package on. So I kind of want to dive into what all that I asked for with this truck. Had to wait for a little bit for it to come in from a different city, but I'm pretty excited about it. I already put 1,000 miles on this thing, so it's got like just over 1,000 miles on it now. Brand new, straight off the lot. You know, no other way to do it. So we got the extended warranty for 8 years or 125,000 miles. So hopefully don't have to do any major repairs or maintenance to this thing other than just tires and windshield wipers and oil changes, basically, which are also, oil changes are covered for a couple of years. So really can't beat it, I think. The off-road model has a couple of things. The super fancy Bilstein or whatever shocks, so it helps you gets a smoother ride on some of those forest roads that we take. It also has crawl control and multi-terrain select. I haven't played with the multi-terrain select or the crawl control yet, but if you've seen the YouTube videos, the crawl control is pretty dang impressive. You can literally get your truck buried and it'll get itself out without you even being inside. So that's pretty cool. There's only one engine model for this. It's the straight 4, 280 or some horsepower, turbocharged. You can get one with an extra electric motor that adds like 48 extra horsepower, but that was like an extra 15 grand. I just didn't want to do it. So 4-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. You know that I've always been a proponent of all-wheel drive vehicles, and I'm kind of sad this one doesn't have it, but it was going to be an extra 15 grand for all-wheel drive, and it was the limited model with all the chrome and all the old man design, so wasn't going to do that, of course. So got the TRD off-road, figured I'll get used to 4-wheel drive, and at the very least saves me a little bit on gas, right? So it has been extremely efficient on gas. I'm getting like 24, 25, 26 on the highway, which is just impressive. I mean, twice what my Jeep was getting. I was going into freaking debt paying for gas on that thing. So I'm excited to get out of that hole. not pay so much for gas anymore. This thing is just super efficient. It's got a small engine in it, but tows 6,400 pounds with like a 1,700 pound payload. That's like over 3/4 of a ton. So for a small Tacoma, that is extremely impressive. I mean, I am stoked. I can't wait to take this thing around the country, around the West, and take it to some sweet places and shoot some sweet animals and see some cool country and run around the mountains with this thing. So obviously I really liked the SUVs that I've had, being able just to throw all your gear inside and lock everything up, keep it out of the weather, keep it away from thieves and wild animals and stuff. But I guess I just decided to switch over to a pickup. Now that I have a bed, I could throw, you know, bloody animals in there and just pressure wash everything out. We can haul hay here on the ranch. We can throw a bunch of rocks and lumber and you name it. I mean, it's just so handy having a truck. So figured I'll jump on the truck bandwagon. Got white just because I was so tired of black vehicles for so long. Just looks clean and fresh and like a nice wedding dress. So still gotta wait for my plates to come in. I mean, look how mean this thing looks. Thing's awesome. LED headlights, automatic high beams. It's even got a little shroud here on the radiator that like closes to keep the radiator from icing up. That's just really cool. Got the auxiliary buttons here, so you could add some light bars and pod lights and stuff, and be able to just to hit the switch and turn it on. Let me show you. Turn on all these lights. Light here on the back for the bed, that's really handy. Automatic high beams. That's the brightness of your inside lights. That's your headlight height adjustment. That's pretty fancy. And I got the inverter. So the upgrade package, which I really wanted, has inverters here in the truck. So there's a little plug-in right here for a little 400 watt max device, and then there's some USB ports and stuff in here. Pretty fancy. Lights inside. Got these little sliders here, and I just put some strapping here. So we've been hauling propane tanks and some like goat feed and stuff. So I've just been strapping it down so it doesn't slide around too much. Takes like what? E15 gas is okay, it says. So that's pretty handy. I mean, all in all, just seems like a great truck. I've thrown a bunch of animals in my previous Jeeps. I threw one bloody bear inside my first Jeep, the Jeep Liberty, and then I threw 2 bears into my Commander. And it's nice, you know, you just throw a tarp in there and get all the meat in there. But man, it just gets messy, man. All the blood gets everywhere. We've been hauling lumber with the Jeeps too, and you get sawdust in there, so it's just a pain in the butt. So I just kind of figured it'd be time to switch to a truck. But has trailer plugs already with a built-in brake controller. I think that was part of the upgrade package, actually. So we added the upgrade package that came with the brake controller. Has a backup camera, of course, blind spot mirrors. I mean, it's got like all the bells and whistles. Of course, we didn't go super fancy. There's a lot of other stuff in the really high-end models that we just don't need, don't want to have to pay for if they break. But can fit up to 33-inch tires on this sucker without lifting it or doing any other mods to it. So I think I'm going to do that as soon as I figure out what I want to do with these tires. They're pretty nice tires, BF Goodrich. Just not as much grip as I want for some of the mountain back roads. But yeah, all in all, just a sweet rig. Let's pop the hood. Let's look inside. It's not a very powerful engine. I mean, it's 285 horsepower, straight 4, turbocharged engine. You can get the one with the electric motor, the hybrid. It's got the electric motor between the transmission and the engine. That was an extra like 10 grand or something, so just didn't think it was worth it. Not a super complicated engine bay. Looks like plenty of space to work on things. All your sensors are up top, so if you need to unplug something, replace something, everything's right up on top. Spark plugs are super easy to get to. You got your air box right there, fuses, battery right on top, more fuses and relays. ECU's right there, super easy to get to. I mean, that was one of the selling points for me. Someday I'm going to have to work on this vehicle if I, you know, get past my warranty or whatever. Someday I'm going to have to replace some sensors and computers and wiring, you name it. So I wanted something that's going to be really easy to work on. So if you know me, you've known that I've been driving SUVs for a while, preferably Jeeps. And they've treated me very well. Obviously, I strongly preferred them for many years. Decided to keep them running as long as I can, but I got to the point where it was just too expensive to keep throwing money at it and not getting the return on investment back. So decided not to go with like the Tundra or like a big truck for ease of maneuverability in the mountains. Like some of those bigger trucks, the Tundra is just impossible to get turned around on some of the tight roads. The wheels are just so far apart, you don't have a good turning radius at all. So that was a big deal breaker for me, just having to be able to turn around in the mountains. The Tacoma is almost as good as my Jeep. The Jeep's better. The wheels are a lot closer together on the Jeep than this truck is. So the Jeep turns very, very well and parks very well. This truck not as much, but way better than the Tundra or like a big Chevy Silverado or Ford F-150 even. So, and Toyotas are way more American than the Fords, than the Chevys, than freaking Dodge even anymore. Like a whole bunch of Toyotas are made in the USA. That's just crazy to me. So glad to support American made where I can. I know this truck isn't all made in America, but a lot of the components are. So helping my fellow man, and excited where this truck's gonna bring me in the next who knows how many years, a dozen years, maybe more. Where should I take it? Spring bear hunting? That's coming up. Hopefully I could throw a bear in the back and get some blood all over this bed like I did with my Jeeps. Alright, thanks guys. If you have any preferences for like off-road mods to this thing, steel bumpers, rims, tires, you name it, if you have any experience with light bars and brackets, let me hear it, because I'm trying to get this thing tricked out, ready for the mountains for a long time. So thanks guys for watching. Stay wild.